Hey guys, welcome to Adapted, episode 83. My name is Tristan, and joining me this week we've got Jason, Chad, and Sweener. How you guys doing?
Great.
Doing good. Excited to be here, Tristan.
Yeah, we're gonna take the show in a little bit of a different path. So we don't have five shows to talk about. So it'd be more of us just kind of sharing our thoughts on what's going on right now in the comic book world, of whether it's TV shows, movies, or comic books in general. But we do have one more show that we still have been going on with, and that of course is Preacher. And I don't know about you guys, but I thought this episode got real good. Like this was
Can you
the
say
peak
this is
for
the
me.
best episode ever?
Yeah.
Easily.
Dude.
It's easily their best episode.
That
There's no
opening
question.
sequence, hands down, dude. I was glued to the TV, dude.
Dude,
Usually I'm kind of just like, eh. That was so
Did they-
cool.
Could they please just give us the first 12 minutes of every episode for like the entire episode? Because that was fucking awesome.
I actually paused it at a certain point, and I was like, okay, how many minutes have gone on for like this awesome opening scene? I was like, oh yeah, 12 minutes, okay.
Yeah,
That's
it's me
12
too. 'Cause
minutes in
the-
TV in a while.
The title card came so late. Like, it was like,
Right.
what is going on with this episode? Oh, it was insane.
Yeah, this was just like fantastic. We learned a lot, right, in that first 12 minutes, probably more than the other 30 whatever minutes.
Yeah, the whole time I was like, who is this weird gymnast soccer mom, and why is she like walking around this diner, and like what the hell is going on?
When they started pummeling her in the parking lot, I was like, what?
Yeah,
the
when he
hell?
threw that
Yeah.
kick right to her when she's laying down, I was like, oh shit, dude, what is that all about?
And then they finally reveal it, not everything, but they give us a big part of information in this one, more than they have, as you said, thus far. And this is already the sixth episode of the season.
So yeah, it's about time that they start laying out what the heck is actually going on in this damn
Yeah,
thing.
it's like everything's been kind of like juggled up in the air, dude. And you're like, really, like, how the fuck does this mumble jumble of everything kind of mesh together? And now it kind of feels like they're all forming nicely for us.
So you guys you good with how they explain it with angels and demons creating some mysterious thing that should have never been
Genesis,
Genesis.
the band.
I love Cassidy. Cassidy constantly says, "Oh, that's just a terrible name, Genesis." Because it is kind of not. You would think it'd be a little bit better of a name, but yeah, I'm digging how like the explanation of everything that's going on and this weird abomination that was created after an angel and a demon decided to break all the rules and
wanna
they,
meet
they were
those
in
two
love
guys.
actually, which is even crazier.
I'm sure they'll show us who those guys are, but yeah, dude, it's crazy, like, finding out, like, you know, what's inside, who these dudes are, and, like, them just dying constantly and, like, respawning,
Dude,
and then dude just
when they
laying there.
finally had her subdued,
Yeah.
and they like had her all tied around, and then Cassidy comes in and fucking shoots her, and they're like, ah.
I didn't know if there was a different director involved in this episode, and it had the same look of previous episodes, but I feel like this episode was just like the overall look of everything was very, I don't know, I want to say perfect. Like it had a very specific
It was
look about
very
it.
like Robert
I
Rodriguez. It was like
really
very
enjoyed it.
gimmicky,
Yeah, it was totally.
Like-
which was cool. Which I thought was awesome. Like when they panned through that shotgun hole and and like there was light shooting out. Like all you could see was the light of them respawning. That was just like such a really cool thing.
And
Yeah,
having
like, I totally thought it was a Rodriguez thing too, and I don't know if it was like before I watched it. I watched that show Ride with Norman Reedus, where he's just cruising around on the motorcycle.
I have to ask how something about that show. Like, give me something about that show.
Dude, it's awesome. So essentially, what it is, it's Norman Reedus just cruising around Pacific Coast Highway. He was at the Twisted Sister in Texas, and dude, you love Daryl / Norman because you find out they really are one and the same. And dude, he really is just like a cool, down to earth guy, man. They just ride motorcycles. He's got a bunch of his friends. They go and they meet all these motorcycles. But it's like all these people come up to him, and he's always super nice to them. Always takes photographs with them, you know, always spends all his time. And you can see, like, it kind of feels like the people that are with him get kind of annoyed with it. But great show.
So it's just like a documentary of like his
Yeah,
life.
it's essentially, I think if you've ever watched like Anthony Bourdain, the foodie guy who
Yeah.
travels around. Now he's on CNN or whatever. I think it's a lot like that. It's like his life motto, and then just like having a good time and meeting a bunch of people with a lot of really good-looking women.
It's amazing they created this show. It's like a star of a hit cable TV series. Like, yeah, let's give him his own show just to showcase like what he does.
Yeah, it's 6
not
episodes,
acting.
and they think he's probably gonna get picked up for another season.
I want to see Sweeney.
And a lot of it is like
Me too.
they do
Sidecar.
incorporate a lot of The Walking Dead and all that stuff into it too. So it's pretty cool, man.
Huh.
He makes me want to buy a motorcycle, man. I went online at Craigslist.
You've already wanted to buy a motorcycle for like
I
the
know,
last
but
2
he
years.
really
It's an ongoing theme.
Yeah, dude.
Do it, man. Just do it.
Bite the.
We'll document your life if you get one.
So day 2, Chad's completely crashed the motorcycle, and he's done with that.
Best effort.
Going back to Preacher, and a big chunk of this beginning focused obviously a lot on DeBlanc and Fior, the angels from heaven that came down without permission to recapture Genesis, since they let it. They don't even know how it escaped in the first
Yeah,
place.
it's like they're like, we're just the caretakers. It's like they don't really know a lot about it, but
Oh, they were like watching, like janitors, dude. It was like watching over it, cleaning the place up, maintaining
Yeah,
it,
I
like
know.
hanging out. And they're just like, oh shit, it escaped. They're kind of like the buffoons almost, dude.
They
Yeah,
are,
they're the
total
cool comedy. Yeah.
and especially after like that whole opening series, dude, you could totally tell they're like Laurel and Hardy style, dude.
Let's see what else. And Tulip had a big story arc in this one.
Oh, dude, Tulip.
I was getting a little annoyed by her, to be honest.
She's the
Yeah,
worst part
you
of
know
the show.
what? Let's hand it to Cassidy. What a wide acting range he has, dude. Like when he was hid behind the door to find out that she was his Tulip. He was so
Poor guy.
heartbroken, dude. I felt so bad for Cassidy, dude. When he came in there thinking he was going to get a little nookie in the broom closet, only to find out it's not to be.
Yeah, dude, she's already on someone else's arm.
Yeah, like in the whole interaction between her and the mom, I can't remember.
Emily, I think it's Emily.
Emily, yeah, you're right, Emily. That whole thing was just like weird, you know. It was like,
Yeah, at first it was like, okay, I understand why Tulip is jealous of her, and this Emily is kind of just clueless of everything going on right now. And then they just like hit it off real quick just because Tulip rebuilds the ashtray that
and I was like, on top of it all, there's like no little shards, right? It just broke clean in all big clean chunks.
Snapped, dude. It just snapped.
She's good at putting stuff together, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of this episode, dude, that was probably the low part of just her and then and the mom and the house and stuff, and then she's delivering stuff. She added a little value, dude. The thing I'm curious about, maybe you guys have some insight too, is Arseface's whole story arc here. What's going on with these kids
How
and
does
him?
everybody like him do it?
I feel like they're setting him up. Did it not look
I
like
kept thinking they were setting him up.
blow
That's
him
the
up
thing.
or something?
I think it was like showing that he had this like brief moment of like redemption, and then
Yeah.
they sent him to hell. Like everybody like liked him. Like these kids were like they accepted him.
They
You got to
came
see
off
this cool,
really-
And it
amazing
was all
things.
from that mom from last week. That
Yeah,
Yeah, like that she liked him and she was cool with him and all
Jesse
that
told
stuff.
her to.
yeah.
I know,
so,
but it kept like coming off like they were shady.
oh
dude.
no, it felt like they were gonna take him down there and like
Yeah,
Make
like
him
when
do
they were
something
shooting the
bad.
fireworks down in that drainage tunnel, I'm like, this guy's dead. He's dead.
Yeah,
yeah. No, it didn't look like it was gonna be good for him. But I think that
I
was
thought
just
they were
a-
gonna have him lay down and like put fireworks in his mouth.
They kind of should have. He would have been able
Roman
to hold them
candles,
perfectly.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
suspicious
Sweeney
of the
could have got
whole
them all
thing.
right in there.
I was suspicious of the thing the entire time, but then they were trying to make it out that like, okay, things are changing for Eugene Arseface, and it's changing so much that he's not even feeling comfortable with it, and that's when he goes to Jesse, and
Jesse makes things right.
yeah,
Oh, dude, how awesome. Well, okay, a couple things that we're glossing over. The mayor.
yeah, I was gonna
What
touch
the
on that.
fuck, dude?
I liked
never
when he
returned-
was trying to figure out what pair of khakis to wear.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome, dude. That was like so Gap commercial. The other thing is, who put those bodies on the side of the freeway? Him or
Oh, the old guy had to, right? Like his crew.
Yeah, I'm assuming Kilcannon's goons. did
Yeah,
it
him and
for
his
him.
crew definitely set that up. Which they did a really good job of it. Put that
Yeah.
Carter and burn that motherfucker.
Well, yeah, and then when Preacher was out there putting up the PA system, but you just saw him hanging something, and Cassidy's down there like, hey, I'm always up for a good fight and all this, but he's like, I know a really bad idea when a bad idea comes around, and he's like, this is a pretty bad idea, man. So even Cassidy's like, dude, you need to get on the program, man. It's time to give that thing back. And when they were sitting there like talking and their skivvies, dude, that was pretty funny too. So that's when Cassidy, I think, realized that Preacher's lost it, man.
Yeah, you've seen Jesse kind of get cockier and cockier each episode, and now he's starting to understand what's inside him that has this power. And I think part of that, the Genesis thing, might be in some ways controlling him to a degree. I don't know exactly, because we don't have a huge backstory on Jesse and what kind of guy he is, besides him being now a preacher. But I think he might be going back to what's his name's DeBlanc and Fjord next week, maybe, to get some answers, maybe more about Genesis, after I'm assuming he's gonna feel really guilty about Eugene and try and like
yeah, and also we saw in the preview, like, he denies having seen Eugene.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Emily knows that she sent Eugene in there to talk to him.
But
Definitely,
Eugene's sneaky as is, so he could have just went out the back door. I wouldn't believe anything that kid says.
What? He's a likable guy.
No, he's a
I bet
creep.
those kids are gonna get in
He's a
trouble for
shithead.
it. Those kids that he was hanging out with would be like, "There's those kids that did something."
Oh yeah,
dude, the
Preacher's
kids are gonna
totally
get in
gonna set
trouble.
him up. Yeah.
Is Preacher just gonna grow to be just this unlikable character
Probably.
that has this? Yeah.
I don't know, because I think the thing that was appealing about him was that he was such a likable kind of guy, you know?
Yeah, but I kind of like the douchey part of him.
And I think the switch will flip, dude. I think it'll be they'll be like making him look evil, and then he'll become a good guy like in a couple episodes. Like you gotta build it up and knock it down, make him like not know his powers and start having him do some crazy shit,
True.
like taking Arseface into the unknown and leaving behind just a scrap. That's also crazy too, because the extent of his power has really only been like mind control. Now it's all of a sudden teleportation. Like now, dude, how far does this power
Well, yeah,
go?
whatever he says happens to the guy. Like, it's crazy. Like, on what he could possibly do. Like we were
'Cause I
talking
guess,
a little
like,
bit,
if he says
comparing
someone-
him to the Purple Man of Jessica Jones, and like I was thinking the same thing. Like, is that his only ability of just like mind control in some ways, or just like whatever he says, person does or happens to the person, whether
I was
they-
just gonna say that, like, because like technically, if he's like go to hell, the guy should have been just like falling face first on the ground, like banging his head into like the ground, trying to get into hell instead of like teleporting. It's not like he tells someone to shut up and their lips disappear, or like like they get sewn up. So it's kind of crazy to see like that, and now like what they can do now that they introduce that. They can
Yeah.
probably go anywhere with his abilities now.
I just think how crazy it could get.
Oh, hopefully it
It's
gets a
gonna
little
get
crazy.
nuts.
He's out of control, dude. How do you stop an angel? That's my next question, dude. But we can move on.
Silver bullet.
He got some werewolf.
Werewolves.
Same thing.
Are these angels going to
Garlic?
sprout wings ever? You think?
No.
No?
Well, maybe. I don't know. I think no.
That's just not their style.
Yeah. Maybe there's like special angels with wings, like angel bosses or something.
They're probably cloaked, like they're hidden. It's not like they look like this up there. I don't think they're adapting.
Well, the wanted poster for those guys, they look the same. Which I was curious if they were in a disguise on Earth or how that happens.
Yeah.
We'll probably find out before the season's up.
Dun, 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 dun.
I am liking this show a lot, though. What score are you guys giving this episode?
I'm gonna give it a 4. That was really cool. Really cool. I didn't like the tulip stuff though at all, so that kind of was like a buzzkill. But otherwise, I thought it was probably the best episode of the season so far.
Yeah, dude. I think 45-minute show. 15 minutes of it was just kind of boring to me, but I'll probably go with. I want to give it a 5, but I don't know enough about the show yet to give it a 5. But it was a good episode. Is it worth a 5? I'm gonna give it a 4. God damn, that opening scene was a 5 though. I'm
That
gonna give
opening scene, yeah.
it
Just go with your heart, man.
Whatever your heart desires.
I give it a 5, dude. I was glued to it.
Boom.
Good choice,
Five from
my
Chad.
friend. I'm giving it 5. I'm giving it 5 Cassidys, man.
Oh, I forgot about that. Dude.
This was a great-
5 tulips on the shoulder, dude.
This was a great episode, man. both the last 2 weeks, the opening 12 minutes have been fantastic. Plus, Cassidy just doesn't stop entertaining with his one
You should
line.
have a spin-off.
It'll be interesting to see if Jesse wakes up and finally realizes that Emily's like in love with him. And I'm kind of curious to figure out how the mayor is going to weasel his way out of this.
Dude, I was just gonna say on the Cassidy gimmick, dude. I said he could have his own show, but I don't think so. I actually think he's good in small doses, because he just comes out when you need it.
Yeah, he comes out, hits like the home run, little scene.
Dude, when he's in his like little Chinaman hat, dude, it's like rubber gloves and all that stuff, dude. It was pretty great.
All right, I'm at a 5 for this week's episode. One thing I noticed as throughout this episode was like the acting performance of the actor that plays Eugene Arspace. Really solid job, and just like the emotions he portrays, and I know
Actually, yeah, he did make me feel sad for him.
yeah, did a good job. And like we talked about those first 12 minutes, like there was actually a point in this episode I was like, I moved up on the couch and I was at the edge of my seat to like watch this show. Like it did its job in getting me engaged and really liked it. So I'm on board with Preacher.
This show continues to surprise me.
Yeah, and hopefully with now in the summer, I don't know how high the ratings could possibly be, but hopefully in people's downtime they can be like, yeah, I hear good things about Preacher and jump on board. They're already renewed for a second season, so they're not really in trouble, but hopefully more people appreciate it as much as we do.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right, and diving into some comics. Comics have been a heavily debated topic as of late. It's even getting in main press and everything. Like people like CNN are talking about Captain America Steve Rogers, about the big Hydra twist and whatnot. And we're focusing on issue number 2, and this issue, as advertised, explains why Steve Rogers at the end of issue 1 said "Hail Hydra" and why he
Shocker.
apparently is Hydra. And this issue explains that it's not quite reality. It introduces, well, didn't introduce entirely, but it explains this cosmic cube that was later transformed into a young girl called Kobik, is responsible for these changes that are going on. And interesting stuff. And the
I guess I'd like to
Red
say-
Skull's involved in it. And
But we talked about Steve Rogers number 1, dude. I did end it saying that he was probably under mind control. I'm sure billions of people also said the same.
Yeah.
Did you think that it was gonna? I know they were gonna
Yeah.
talk about it, but I thought they would tease it like a little bit more. Like this would be an episode where you kind of like get a progression towards the full thing. I didn't think it was gonna be a full, plain, straight out reveal. Like I thought it would end with like, you know,
It was such a terrible,
just a waste. Just a waste of a series.
terrible, normal. This is what comics do. Gotcha situation. It was just so like.
it's a perfect example of
was-
what comics do.
It was just kind of like a little bit like an easy out. I wish they would have done something a little more
Waited like
intelligent.
2
It just
issues,
felt
more.
pretty cheap.
Yeah.
But I mean, the issue itself was done really well. I liked the way they told the story, but it was just like cheap, and I was like, well, I get why they did it because it got tons of press and everybody was all worked up, but now it's just like no one's gonna care anymore. No one's invested now, which is the problem. Where they could have strung it out for like 5 or 6 episodes or issues and done something a little bit better, but
Yeah, I'm curious if people are still gonna pay attention to this
No
on
one's
the
gonna care.
outside world.
No, they
Where-
just took all the wind out of the sail, dude. It had so much heat going into this, and then I know they already had it written probably like after they
Right,
made
they
the
did.
first one, so they couldn't go back on it. I bet you they're thinking like, shit, we should have dragged this out because now everyone's like knows exactly what happened. Now it's just Steve Rogers like someone saving him and him coming back to normal. It's not like he's
Well, yeah, this little girl that was formerly a cosmic cube under the control of Red Skull, and it's doing things for Red Skull and sees the ways
It's
it
her daddy.
more or less grew up with Red Skull, and is like, I want to make everyone Hydra because it understands the Red Skull's motives and everything, and making the world better in a certain aspect with Hydra. Like Hydra isn't like it's evil, but they also have their own motives of trying to solve a few things that aren't getting solved by the good people. So,
yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I
You're
can
right.
already guess how this is going to play out.
Ooh, how's it
Probably,
gonna
like-
play out? Give it to me.
I mean, the Cube is a girl now that has all this unlimited power, and even Red Skull is saying that he's a little frightened that Kobik might turn on him at some point. So he's playing things really safe, and he didn't want to get too carried away as he was explaining his plan to his daughter, Sin. And I'm guessing eventually the girls will be like, you know what? Captain America, Steve Rogers can't be Hydra and all this, and she'll eventually change reality again and correct the way things should be.
And she'll become a member of the Avengers.
Yeah, I don't know.
All be good in the world.
For all her knowledge and ability and the way she can do things and give memories that she probably couldn't even comprehend if she was a little girl, she's really dumb and naive to what's actually happening around her, which makes no sense for the abilities and powers and memories that she stores inside these
Yep.
people's heads. Like, if you're that smart where you can put, like, all these crazy memories into Steve Rogers about the world and, like, all these bad things, why couldn't you look around you and be like, huh, this isn't quite fucking making sense?
Yeah, 1 and 1 don't equal 2 here. It's like, especially when she turned the sister's face good.
I remember you.
Yeah, I was like, why wouldn't she do that to the main guy? Why wouldn't she do that to everybody?
Red Skull.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
She's got
And-
blockers on, dude. Sensories.
just because they were friends in the old days, I guess.
And I know she's being prodded by Shield, which Shield doesn't exactly do the right thing. The reason Shield even exists is just to make sure like the bad guys don't win, and they might take measures into their own hands when sometimes they shouldn't, and they go a little too far.
True. Maybe Shield's playing her.
Maybe she's playing everyone, dude.
Possibly.
Trying to, like, just messing with him to get Steve Rogers because she knows he can do that. Now she has the Red Skull in her pocket, so then she can manipulate him a little bit slowly.
And then she becomes the main boss, the main
Yeah.
bad guy.
She becomes the boss of World 5.
That's entirely possible.
I think she could be playing some games.
Huh. I mean, yeah, there's a lot more this could have done. And now I don't even care where it goes, really, at the next one.
No, you're not that interested in the.
I
Sort
lost
of.
all interest in it. I guess I'll give it one more issue, but then it has to be back on Amazing Trail, but we'll see.
Yeah, just
I
just
guess I
finding
want to
out that-
see like how Captain America acts as a bad guy, and then if they don't fuck that up, then maybe I'll stay in for a little bit longer. But we'll see.
I'm just genuinely curious, like, what else she's gonna change to reality. Like, who else is she gonna make Hydra? And just curious to see what that looks like for a moment, even though it will probably get changed back at some point.
I know, dude. That's actually what I was thinking too. Is like, okay, well, let's see what else she does. But then I'm thinking about it. It's not turning into like a Steve Rogers book. It's turning into like, you know, something completely different. Because it's like you no longer care about Steve Rogers because you know he's under mind control. So it's just like, what's this girl gonna do? What's she gonna do next? Like, she's pretty much the epicenter of the show for me.
It'll be interesting to see. I mean, we all know like the myth of Steve Rogers and everything, like this ultimate good guy. It'd be interesting if he can somehow overcome this on his own and have this like unseen power against reality changing Kobik.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious on that aspect, if he can do it, or if the Cube is just gonna Kobik the Cube is just gonna bend and change things on her own.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Or
I'm
if the
okay with
Avengers
seeing if
get
that goes that way.
or if the Avengers figure things out and they help and try and find a way. Like it'd just be a giant mess if the thing that's changing all this just changes it back.
Yeah. Like it never happened.
Yeah.
That'd be fun for
That
everyone.
sounds
We all
familiar.
win in that scenario.
I mean, for the most part, this series has been kind of more of a marketing gimmick than anything.
Yep, that was the whole point. That's why.
I mean, that's what comics do nowadays, because their comics don't sell a ton, so they're
You got-
trying to get any kind of.
Yeah, you gotta
anything
sell
to
like
go there.
500,000 of that first one to make
Right.
sure you can get like 10 more paid for.
And one issue, dude. One issue of like not knowing how he got it. Ugh.
I'm gonna give it a 2,
Giving it to.
and it was total letdown, total cheeseball move.
Yeah, dude, I was gonna give it. Yeah, I want to give it a 3, but I agree. It's like just a giant letdown. The only thing that I care about is the girl at this point, and seeing where her power goes and who's able to, like, if she turns into like a big evil creature. I don't even care about Steve Rogers anymore because now I know he's under, like I said, mind manipulation. So it doesn't even matter because at the end of the day, dude, they're gonna free him. How it happens, I guess, is my biggest care. But I was more excited to see Steve Rogers whoop ass as a Hydra dude. But now it's like it's cat's out of the bag, dude.
I'm giving it a 3. This issue is very specific. I mean, it didn't really focus at all on Steve Rogers. It focused on Red Skull's plan. Like, most of the issue was him talking out loud, like
Red Rogers
narrating things and like just showcasing the battle that they constantly have against each other. And once Red Skull finds a way to more or less win, then things get a little interesting in my mind, at least. But yeah, hopefully, I think issue number 3 is going to change things up a lot. What this issue did, because this issue was very focused on one thing and just explaining how all this happened, which was kind of weird that they just dedicated an issue to that one.
That they just threw it out there, dude. How cool would it have been if they like did like 6 issues and it was like slowly teased at different things? You could still have this girl out here doing all sorts of crazy shit. But like, and then slowly guide us in because it's gonna make you want to buy more comics. I'm not a marketing guy though, so.
No, you nailed it.
Yeah, hopefully they've got like an even bigger secret to come later, but we'll see.
They don't.
Maybe she'll turn Red Skull into a good guy.
Oh.
Which doesn't really mean much, but
Yeah, no, not intrigued by that.
all right, and heading over to Star Wars World, we've got Darth Vader issue 21 to talk about. And in this issue, we've got a little Dr. Aphra's assassin droids have been reassigned or reprogrammed now that Vader has had them to now they have new orders, and now they're going after their creator, more or less, Dr. Aphra herself. Interesting things as far as that, of just trying to bring her in, because I've really enjoyed these assassin droids. So like the lingo between all these 3.
Yeah, no, they're fun. The droids are fun, especially when they're like, you tell us what we need and you can go, and then he just fucking shoots the guy. It's just like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
These guys are still totally evil.
I know that you like when they're not killing and you're just listening to their dialogue, you forget that they're evil. Like you just forget, like when you're reading the dialogue and you're watching them, you kind of forget. Like you're like, oh, cute little robots. What are they gonna do next? What kind of hijinks are they gonna get into?
They're just gonna kill everyone in the fucking town because they're witnesses.
They pull out a whole fucking army and start destroying a bar.
And so Vader is kind of overseeing the completion of the Executor, this giant starship. And I believe, was it the Emperor that kind of gets involved with the completion of it, whether it being done on time? I think like someone radio's into the Emperor, or maybe it's Vader, one or the other. But this Executor ship just, I'm assuming it's going to eventually explode at some point. We don't know much about it in the Star Wars lore that we know about with the movies. But it would be interesting to see what the capabilities of this Executor starship can do.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm curious. It doesn't. I don't know. I don't like that whole crew. They don't really fit the Star Wars universe for me for some reason.
Which crew?
The
people in the Executor?
Yes.
Or in charge of that? You don't really care about that storyline too much?
No. Am I thinking of the right guy? Is the Executor the...
Executor is the name of the ship.
Which is the ship that's with the
and
aliens?
Then the rogue scientist guy, Silo.
Yeah, the Silo's alien ships. I thought those were called Executor. I got confused for a second. Those are the ones I can't stand at all.
Yeah, I
you don't like the alien ship?
They feel so out of place in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, I don't like the look of his ships. It kind of reminds me of something out of like Star Trek more, maybe.
Yeah, actually, I was like, you know what? I'm going to downgrade this episode or this issue because this is so not at all Star Wars. At least the Star Wars that I know, it doesn't have bugs as spaceships in any scenario. But you liked it, Chad?
I thought they were neat, but see, I'm not a big Star Wars dude. So like to me, it was kind of cool. Like you guys, it doesn't live in the lore. To me, it's like kind of neat, dude. Like when I think of the Sarlacc pit, dude, I think of the Sarlacc pit just flying out of the sand and then going into the sky, like, and it's just a crazy creature that can fly.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool to me, but I can see where you're saying like if it's not fitting in the lore, dude, it just doesn't make sense. But I thought it was awesome when they were just like blowing through it, dude, and like the guts are flying everywhere. But
No, yeah, this looked like something like the metal kid in like high school would like scribble on the side of his notebook or something.
I had
it was
that
just
on my
like so
t-shirt.
out of phase. Yeah, it was like, what is this? that whole thing, but otherwise, I don't know. There's some
Vader
cool stuff.
battling the giant monster?
What is that monster?
Yeah, someone. What is that, Tristan? What is that creature?
Was
he
that
just
in
wants
this
to
issue
fight?
or next issue?
Well, he didn't fight it yet.
It ends.
Okay,
So
yeah.
it ends with him like in a
That's
stand.
whatchamacallit.
It looks like a Rancor, but
Yeah, it is a Rancor.
It's a mystical Rancor because they said there was like a creation of theirs.
And it looked-
Yeah,
genetic.
it's
it had
it's
like
enhanced
eyeballs
a
were
little.
like, you know, like robot eyes.
It was enhanced by that scientist lady that works for Silo.
So that'll
The
be.
way with
I
all,
guess
like,
that's
the
something to look
droids
forward
around
to.
her.
Doesn't it kind of annoy you that you know the outcome that Darth Vader doesn't die, that he's gonna kill it, and it's just like not. It does. It's not as high of a climax as it could be.
But it's
'cause you
like,
know
how is he gonna kill it?
Yeah, that's well, that's what I mean. It's like not as exciting because you know he's gonna do it, but it's like okay, well, how is he gonna do it? It'll be kind of neat, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of like, I guess, the way everything is these days.
Yeah, I mean, you know the main character is.
You go into like Jurassic World thinking Chris Pratt's gonna make it out. You don't assume he's gonna die. If he does die, that'd be amazing. But
Yes, that's what I hope for every
It
time
never
I see a
happened.
movie. I'm like Jean-Claude Van Damme's gonna die. He never happens.
What?
JCVD.
Maybe lose a fight, never die.
Yeah, I'm more interested in Aphra being captured by the droids and being taken back to Vader to see what's going to happen there. Because
I
Vader
can't
wants
believe
her-
she's been alive as long as she has. Honestly, I
Yeah.
thought she was
we
gonna be
thought
out.
she'd been dead already, but yeah, she's made it quite a long way. She constantly reminds me of Han Solo, especially in this
Totally.
issue when she was hanging out in that bar just drinking herself stupid. And yeah, constant remind. I mean, she's in some ways a little smarter than Han Solo because she's got the whole scientific background with all this droid work, but
She's
her
got the science knowledge and he's got
personality
the-
reminds me of Han Solo, I guess you could say.
she's the worst.
You don't like her?
I still don't like her. I've never liked her from the beginning. I just don't like that character. Darth Vader should have cut her in half when he had the chance.
You may soon.
Hopefully.
Oh, don't tease.
Dun dun dun. So, scoring this issue 21 of Darth Vader, what you guys got?
I'm gonna go 3. It was run of the mill. I did think the droids were really fun. I thought they were really cool, but it was the alien spaceships just really ruined it for me. I couldn't get over that. So 3.
I'll give it a 3 as well. Throw a 3 out there for you.
I'm in agreement. 3 as well for me. I think bigger things are going to come next issue as the story develops more. With
Get a big fight
Aphra,
at least.
assuming is going to meet up with Vader, or possibly maybe that's going to be drawn out a little bit more. And Vader is probably going to be battling a few things.
Dude, no shit. He's got to fight the Rancor. He's got to fight Crazy Lady and her like floating balls.
Gotta watch out for those floating balls.
Dude, the floating balls every time.
Story of my life.
All right, rewinding. It's been out for a bit, but focusing on Batman Rebirth #1, and this is before all the Batman titles come out with Detective Comics, Batman series as itself. With the writer King is going to be writing that one. This issue, Scott Snyder and King write this one, and kind of set up the whole purpose of this issue is kind of set up what is to be expected going forward with Rebirth. And in this issue, we got a new member of the Bat family, this kid named Duke that's been around in the Batman comics for a little bit of time now. You would think he's going to be a new Robin possibly, but he turns out not being a Robin.
Yeah, what gimmick are they giving him? Like Batman Jr.? BJ?
He's gonna become Batman proper.
Maybe eventually become Batman.
He
Like,
will.
so he'll like just wear that costume as he's like training, and then eventually when Batman's gotta put down the cape, he's gonna take his place. So no more new gimmicks.
Maybe.
Or do you think they'll give him a new name?
I think he'll get a new name.
So a new character, dude. I'm liking this already. I thought they were gonna make him Robin the whole comic. I was like, all right, and then they get that, and I'm like super confused now. So I wasn't sure if I missed something.
And I mean, the Batman family is getting a little crowded as after this, and the books kind of go off on their own. Detective Comics has a lot of characters involved that are assisting Batman. We already know Robin, who is currently Batman's son, Damian Wayne. We've got the former Robin, who's now Red Robin, who gets a little makeover in Detective Comics. We've got Batwoman showing up later. We've got a lot of characters assisting Batman. So it gets a little crowded. This issue alone, I enjoyed all the training of Bruce Wayne and Duke. And chopping down that tree is kind of a throwback to past Batman comics of old.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in general, I enjoyed that aspect. I didn't enjoy. They showed some stuff with Calendar Man in this one, which I didn't really get a hold of. And Calendar Man
is that
had,
going to be the main villain for this series?
I think in a new story arc that Tom King's going to handle, he's going to be writing the Batman series. Yeah, I don't know.
It was nice to see him get some page time, though. Calendar Man, he's not a guy I see too often.
But they're doing some weird things with Calendar Man. Like, Calendar Man doesn't normally have powers, and in this, they kind of are making out that he does have powers. Like, Calendar Man is just an insane person, more or less, typically. But giving him powers makes things a little weird with him, I feel like. That panel where they had Bruce Wayne hanging from the helipad of Wayne Tower, that was pretty awesome.
That was great. That was probably the best one, I think.
Oh yeah. For that issue, for that panel alone, this book gets a few points, even though the whole point of this book is just it's a setup book.
It's a teaser.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really know why they title this #1, because it's a one-shot comic, more or less. I don't know.
It was very quick too. It was like a quick read. It was like 5 minutes and you're out.
Yeah, very quick read.
How do you feel about that?
Take in all the pages, dude. Take in the colors, the shading, what narration they're telling you, in the ink.
So it will simmer down. Even when you do, the new DC comics are much smaller than they used to be because of this new twice a month thing.
Yeah, they're
So I don't like that at all.
twice a month, $2.99, and yeah, they are quick reads.
Because they were already small to begin with, and now they're just like, I don't know. They feel like little leaflets. It's really weird.
Yeah, for some of these titles, I might just not pick up some of these single issues and just wait until the trades, which is the volume that collects like 6 or 7 issues at a time. 'Cause read them all at once and you don't have to wait.
Yeah, I think this new 2 a month thing is gonna backfire on them terribly. Because getting people to go, I'm very curious to see the numbers to go to the comic book shop twice a month or the store to buy. That seems like a big ask.
I mean, someone like me, I go every week, so that's not going to change too much for me. But
yeah,
I don't know.
guess if you
I think there's some people that do go for very specific titles. Like if someone's reading Walking Dead, they're just going to pop in there once a month when the new issue comes out.
Yep.
But yeah, I see your point where it can get some people are very particular about their comics, and yeah,
like me, you're lazy.
I am curious to see where all this Batman spreading out. I'm a big reader of Batman. I read all of Scott Snyder's run that was the New 52 and into all that. So I'm curious, and Scott Snyder's still sticking on for All-Star Batman. So there's going to be a lot of Batman titles. It's going to be Batman, All-Star Batman, Detective Comics. And then it spreads out into Batgirl and Titans or Teen Titans with Robin leading the team.
Jesus.
Nightwing's on Titans. So the Batman stuff is spread out quite considerably, and you have Justice League. So yeah, any book you look for, you're going to get something related to Batman, probably.
Dude, are we going to cover the new WWE comic book that's coming out?
What?
I did not know about this.
Definitely not. We'll tell that it's out. But
do you know what I did?
You
know what I did read though? I read the new Flintstones.
I think it's by Boom Studios or whatever.
I was almost going to pick up the new Flintstones today. It was a weird experience today at the comic book shop because my the usual guy wasn't there today, which really threw me off because he hasn't been missing from a new comic book day for like over a year.
Oh,
But
weird.
there's just like this other guy, so that was really uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy was hyping up the new Flintstones, which he was like, "Oh, look at these!" They had 5 different Flintstone variant covers, which is just crazy to me. I passed on it, but
I
curious.
think you should pick it up. It's actually really, really, really good.
You read it?
Yeah, I didn't know why. I was just like, I want to read this. It looked cool. The art looked cool, and it
Yeah,
is.
the art
It's-
is insane.
It's not like you would expect it to be. It's not. It's not for like little kids or like a Hanna-Barbera comic. It's like a total reimagining of Flintstones in a very mature. It's very like it's strangely very politically charged, and it deals with like kind of like very current scenarios of like these Cro-Magnon guys like trying to come check out the new society that the people at Slate Quarry have created, and it's this weird diversity thing that I don't know, it plays out pretty cool. But it also has all the other Flintstone stuff that you would expect. Plus Fred is like jacked in this. He's not like this fat bumbling guy.
Does
It
he
looks
still
like
roll?
the fucking live action movie. It looks like John Goodman,
It kind of
And-
does.
and they ripped what's his name, dude?
Yeah, I don't know. It's actually
Barney?
it's really smart and it's a
Moranis.
really well written and it reads really well and it was just really cool. Like I highly recommend it. I'd give it a 5 to start with.
We might have to talk about Flintstones soon.
Let's get into it, dude. Let's give
Especially
him
after reading like the Captain America and the fucking the other one the Star Wars ones were just total fluff. Like reading this was like, oh, this is like I'm reading like something good.
again with the cover art looking so good, and then the inside art looking so average.
The Flintstones, I think the book all the way through looks really strong.
Okay, so back on.
So closing out Batman Rebirth.
I just got one last question for you DC fans here. DC, if I remember right, what was it? The Rebirth. Was it the original Rebirth, the DC Rebirth, the one that we
Yeah.
just all read? It was like 75 pages
The
long,
big
120
80-page
pages.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, and it ended with looking down in the Batcave with Watchman's like sign or like the little thing down
A
there.
little smiley
And
face
then
bump.
and then this Rebirth one ends with avocado. Is there significance between both ending looking down like the Batcave hole? Like, is there a tie-in, like something that I'm missing, or no?
I
It
think
just happened that way on
it'll
accident.
be revealed in the future, probably, in all these other Batman titles. Because the whole point of these are just to like get you to read these other titles. So
Because I was like, man, that pain looks really familiar, dude. You replace that avocado with the fucking the Watchman pin, dude, and it's the same.
yeah, they might explain it a little bit more in detail later.
The Watchmen eat avocados.
Possibly.
Boom, solved it.
Yeah.
Avocados are good. Everyone should.
Here
eat
it
them.
is. They make guacamole.
They do.
Cook
So,
them-
what are you guys gonna score this issue of Batman Rebirth?
Slow going. Didn't give me too much to go off of. Introduced me to Calendar Man. I'm gonna give it a 3.
I'm gonna give it a
Gets me excited. I'm kind of curious to see
Yeah,
where they
I'm
go.
gonna give
but
it a 3. It was totally average. It was just didn't do anything spectacular. It was
Calendar Man.
it was laid out really well, but yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3.
All right.
I want to see a Calendar Man comic. Underrated.
No, you don't.
Calendar Man Rebirth,
I'm
dude.
gonna call it right now. You don't want to see that.
I'm at a 3 as well. Kept thinking like, could I possibly skip this issue? And yeah, I probably could have, and just pick up the new once the books relaunch with Detective Comics and Batman #1. Can just start there. But if you want even more story, then I definitely suggest this one. It doesn't do anything spectacular. Gets you curious about this Duke guy and where he might go. But yeah, not a terrible book. Art wasn't so bad either. I enjoyed the art. It was very
It was good.
splashy. I don't know how you would explain it, but it was very splashy.
Yeah, it was good art.
All right, and heading into the news, which, by the way, you can catch Jason and Chad all week long on Live on the Ave on twitch.tv/AllertonAve as they cover even more news that we do here. Have a bit of Netflix and CW news. CW used to have a good deal with Hulu where the next day, if you're a Hulu subscriber, you get their shows that you get to watch new episodes right away. Netflix has signed an exclusive deal now with CW where all our shows that we watch, Superhero, Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, any CW show they might watch. It's going to be showing up on Netflix a little bit sooner than the last deal was. It's going to show up a week after the season finale of each season, which I'm okay. If you wait till the season hit Netflix, then it's probably good for you that it shows up earlier. For me, I was a Hulu guy, and I like to watch the episode the next day. I kind of work as my DVR in some way. So now I'm kind of out on watching these shows if I can't watch them live. So that kind
And
of
you
sucks.
don't have Netflix either, do you?
I do have Netflix, but
Oh, okay.
I mean, we talk about these shows right away. So
Yeah, that's annoying. That's
Well,
annoying.
actually, I was
and
thinking
smart.
for
You
Arrow it would
just
be
talked
okay
to Cord, didn't you?
because I'll get the whole season of
a
Arrow.
while ago, yeah.
And I can just watch it afterwards, you know.
Yeah, but we can't
Yeah.
talk about it in time.
No, we don't talk about Arrow.
Oh yeah,
That's
well,
why I was
just
saying
Arrow.
Arrow,
I
yeah.
could just watch. I could just watch Arrow if I want to. Skip through all the whole season, all the
But
episodes.
you don't want to.
No, yeah, I don't even want to
If you're
skim.
bored, sure.
I just actually want it on my Netflix a week after, so I can give it 1 star.
Smart. Smart.
We just stopped talking about Game of Thrones last week with the season finale, and some news came out today after the creators of the TV series were on a UFC podcast, which was kind of weird that they were on a UFC podcast. But they were saying that the new season for next year, season 7, won't be showing up in its usual time of the year, which is usually April. And this is because they're going to be filming later than normal, since winter is here in the current storyline, and they're going to be filming in locations where things are going to be a little bit colder and more
They need time to
winter
work on the CGI for the dragons.
possible.
And
Maybe they'll have
HBO
more
was like, "Can you guys move that to 2017 so we can stretch out this Game of Thrones thing to like 2019? That'd be great."
Yeah, at some point next year we'll get season 7. We don't know quite when, but we may be waiting a while, which kind of sucks. But we'll have to find something to distract us.
Sorry, Tristan.
Dude, sometimes I just can't wait for these shows, man. I get myself all invested. I hate it. I hate waiting a week, let alone fucking extra 9 months.
You'll be fine.
I saw some Comic-Con news, San Diego Comic-Con news. I don't know if you guys ever were big Nickelodeon watchers back in the day in the 90s.
You kidding me? And Jason played Double Dare in the house.
Yeah, I actually almost put this on live on the app today, but we ran out of stories.
He would always
time,
pour like
so-
a bucket of yellow liquid on it. I never knew what it was.
It was
It was
really-
good.
Best one was the big nose with the glasses, and they had to pick the
Pick the
thing
green
out.
goo,
Yes!
yeah. Oh, that show is so great.
I wanted to be on that show so bad, but they're bringing it back. The special 30th anniversary is going to be held at Comic-Con this year. The host, Mark Summers, is going to be back.
Oh my god, thank you. Is he gonna be wearing his crazy white shoes?
He might. And those
Probably.
acid wash jeans. Yeah. They'll bring him back. But yeah, there's going to be a whole 90s Nickelodeon thing at Comic-Con this year, which sounds really cool. So if you're at Comic-Con this year, attending some of these panels and events, probably be pretty awesome. They're bringing all the creators of 90s Nickelodeon animated shows, like I can't even think of some of the classics. But,
Nick Arcade? Is Nick Arcade gonna be there?
I didn't see anything about Nick Arcade.
What?
Kind of a bummer because I love Nick Arcade.
Yeah. No, you can't have everything in life.
I guess not. Legends of the Hidden Temple and all of that are going to have panels.
JD Roth, is he gonna be there? Is that guy's name? The host?
Might be there, yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. Fuck.
Legends of the Hidden Temple was a pretty great show.
That was great. I always wanted to be on every one of those arcade ones so I could play the new games before they came out.
Oh, I know, dude. It was like you were getting. Oh.
But now we just go to E3, I guess.
Yeah. When I was going to Florida as a kid, I was like, in my mind, I was like, oh, awesome, we're going to Nickelodeon at Universal Studios and I'll be on all these shows, but we never went there, so.
Oh, sorry, Tristan.
Chris was always at Epcot.
Maybe
Have
if we
you
make
seen-
it to 200 episodes of Adapted, we'll do a double dare for you. And Sweeter
Awesome.
can play the role of Mark Summers.
You remember like that last shot of the studios that they always filmed at with like the big fountain of
Yeah.
stuff?
Yeah.
I saw a photo recently of what that area currently looks like, and it's just disheartening.
It's like
because
Russia.
It looks like everything's cleaned up, everything's like freshly painted, just white, and looks un-Nickelodeon because the times have changed, I guess, and they don't really. I mean, does
Right,
Nickelodeon
yeah.
even still have? Do they even have
They don't do those anymore.
shows anymore? No, they don't.
Not like that. I don't think. Not the game show stuff.
Bummer.
The fun is
They
dead.
let's just do like Disney Channel stuff nowadays, don't they?
Pretty much. I think they just do like teen shows and cartoons. That ain't
Right.
good ones.
I feel bad for the generation of kids growing up now.
Yeah.
Hey, not just because they own. Hey, a good thing for a generation. Guess who could be coming back? Wisconsin favorite, Jolly Good.
Oh, I saw that.
The soda available only in is it Sheboygan right now?
Yeah, well, yeah, a couple areas.
They doing like a limited run, like Crystal Pepsi and like
22,000 cases. They're doing a test. Hopefully it works out.
Guys
dude.
dropping them in stores, dude, by the case. Good luck. Puts a hand-drawn sign on, Jolly Good in stock, and leaves. That's his thing.
Yeah,
really
dude.
strange.
On and on. That's part of my childhood. Just like double there, man. Your mom would let you go to the aisle. You got that little cardboard box, and you got to mix and match your own 24-pack, dude. You're
Jolly
like,
Good.
do I want 6 cream sodas? Oh, that's too much.
Some sour power in there.
Yes, sour power.
Oh,
That was so good, dude.
Oh, can we do a
Black
podcast on
cherry.
Jolly Good?
yeah.
It's possible. Some comic book news, some Marvel comic book news. There's going to be a new Iron Man soon, and it's going to be a 15-year-old black girl, Riri Williams. Not sure how to totally say that first name, but she was recently introduced in the Invincible Iron Man series ongoing, I think back in issue 7. I think issue 11 just came out, so a few weeks ago, maybe, or a few months ago, I should say, she was introduced, and with all the Civil War stuff, sounds like Tony Stark is either going to have to hang up his Iron Man suit, or maybe he'll die. I don't know. But yeah,
Or Marvel's just trying to grab headlines.
possibly. I mean, it's the writer on this book, Brian Michael Bendis, is known for creating Miles Morales, who is the half Latino, half African American Spider-Man. So I mean, Marvel continues to get PC everywhere,
Diversify.
which I mean, it's cool to see something different instead of like the same thing over and over and over.
Yeah.
I'm cool. I'm curious to see how it's going to play out, just because it's something different. And reading Iron Man comics, I've never really been all that into it, but Marvel's had a good track record with some female teenage superheroes as of late, like Ms. Marvel, Squirrel Girl has been pretty good.
Yeah, dude, they gotta hit the school kids, dude. Because I'm not into kid heroes, but I mean, people are. Jason's into Teen Titans, so Teeny Titans.
Well, just the app. Not like a real comic or TV show. I don't watch those kids' cartoons. Don't go ruining my reputation.
Yeah, Jason will definitely trash any cartoon out there nowadays, like Star Wars Rebels.
That's a piece of shit.
I'm curious to see how she gets the outfit and see what they do with it, dude. Because Tony Stark's a bitter old bastard. He ain't gonna give her a
Well,
fucking costume, dude.
She's built her own Iron Man suit.
Of course she did, dude.
She's like this
Yeah, a
15-year-old
15-year-old
MIT
just
student.
happened to be able to build an Iron Man suit.
She goes to
Brains,
MIT.
dude.
So, yeah.
MIT.
Tony Stark will be Iron Man in like 4
whatever.
months. It's like, if she's so smart, can she find someone to fix the fucking logo for these Iron Man comics, please? Like, dude, the beveling, it just drives me nuts. I don't know if you saw the new cover for that, but it's just garbage.
She's in robotic engineering, not graphic design, dude.
Yeah, it's not
Dude,
her.
have you seen the suit, dude? It's like sleek and cool, and like she's a designer, clearly. Like,
I guess
work on
so,
the
yeah.
fucking logo, Marvel.
We'll be getting a new trailer soon for the Rogue One Star Wars story. It's going to be hitting ABC on July 15th. I think it's
That's his first.
ABC. I may have gotten that wrong.
No, July 15th, yeah. Next
Yeah.
Friday.
So yeah, I'm curious if this trailer is going to be that different than what we saw already with the first trailer, or if this might showcase some of that reshooting that they've been doing.
I wonder if this is, even if it's not reshooting, I wonder if it's just a tonal shift. Like, just so you know, guys, I thought
They
that
don't-
first trailer got everybody excited though, so that's
Yeah, it
really
did.
strange.
Yeah, I mean, I was super stoked about it.
I feel like they're having conversations with themselves, like, "Oh, this looks really good," and then like, "Oh, well, this might be bad," and they're like convincing themselves to make changes when it's probably not necessary, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Just let it happen.
There's a lot of pressure on them. I could see that.
There
I could
is,
see
yeah.
why that would drive them bananas. But we'll see. I think it's just going to expand upon a couple things and show Darth Vader.
I also agree that
That's probably the whole point of it.
some new news that was just added to our notes here. The Russo brothers are going to be adapting The Warriors for TV.
Yep.
Dude, hey, just like Double Dare, Jolly Good, Warriors, part of the childhood, baby.
Super excited for that. We talked about that on Live on the App this week for a while, and it's fucking awesome. Like, I have potentially awesome. Because, like, what is it going to be? Like, The Warriors is a good movie.
Yeah.
On
Knowing
its
how a
own.
lot
I
of things
wonder
get
where it's going
remade.
to take off. Is it going to take off, like, after, like, at the end of the movie, or is it going to be prelude to, like, everything that happened for the meeting that everybody was attending before, at the beginning of the movie, or...
Is every
Or-
episode going to be like they're trying to escape from a different gang? Like,
Right.
Or does it completely just do nowadays time and like adapts it that way where it's just like that kind of story in 2016?
it's just like drops like
Fucking
a
high
minority
school
into
kids.
Baltimore and says good luck.
And didn't the Warriors video game just get re-released on PS4 or something?
Yeah,
this week?
it's
And
out
if
on
you haven't
PS4.
played it,
Yeah,
if you haven't played it, dude, you should play it. If you like beat 'em up, smash 'em ups with a couple of buddies, dude,
that game is so cool.
smash
It's
'em ups,
old
dude.
now, right? It's like 12 years old, but
It's dated, dude. It's got some whiskers on
it's
it.
Rockstar, and it feels like the Warriors, and the music is right, so you can't go wrong with it.
For the music alone, dude.
I played through it again on the Vita not too long ago on some trip, like maybe last year. It was still good.
Better buy it on the PS4, dude. One more system.
Probably going to.
I know.
It's my thing.
All right, that's it for the show this week. Join us next week on Adapted episode 84 as we continue our Preacher Talk. Hitting up a few more comics. Might dive into Superman, Flash, some more Rebirth stuff. Issue number 2 of Civil War 2 is going to be on the docket. So catch up on reading those and join us for the conversation next week. Catch us right after this as we do the Block Party podcast. Some more video game talk to come. Anything exciting that we should be looking forward to on that, Chad?
Yeah, dude, we got some Overwatch, new character coming out, dude. Pokemon Go just launched, and we got some in-depth gameplay tips on that, dude. And Amy's been up to some crazy stuff as well. So, yeah, tune in, check it out, dude. We got a lot of stuff going on.
You've been into Pokemon Go all day today, haven't you?
Yeah, you have.
Wait, how does everyone know this? Is it
Your
written on my face?
productivity, I feel
Social
like.
media, man.
I was trying to get a Bulbasaur to do my go to my meeting for me, but he wouldn't.
Well, tune into the Block Party to hear all about Chad's Pokemon Go adventures. I'm sure he's going to have a lot to talk about. And don't forget to catch us on Live on the Ab as Jason and Chad break down the news every weekday on twitch.tv/AllergenAv. You can also catch all our videos on youtube.com/AllergenAv live. Subscribe and never miss a video again. We'll see you next week. My name's Tristan, and for Sweener, Jason, and Chad, adios.
Later, guys.
Bye,
Warriors, come out to play.